Yes, I'm doing a video of a scout truck versus a highway truck. Yes, a full-size truck versus a scout truck. I'm pretty sure this is the reason why this is a scout truck is because it only has a 5-liter V6, which is tiny. Okay. Anyway, but I'll get to something on that. Anyway. So, these two trucks are going to go off against each other. Again, red versus blue. So, we're going to put the F750 versus the GMC. I don't feel like saying that. But, this time, I actually have a point system set up that I'm probably going to put on screen or not. I don't know. I'll find out in editing. But, to have a few things going, they both have service bodies on them, basically, since this thing is basically just a service truck with everything it has on it, so it's basically just put a service body on the GMC. But for the Ford, the total amount of fuel it can carry with in its tank, it carries 470 liters of fuel, carries 8 spare tires, and 500 repair points. Compared to the GMC, which in total carries 1,640 liters of fuel, 6 spare tires, and 300 repair points. Now, how I've done this is pretty simple, and you can probably tell how I did it. The Ford only has 970 points, and the GMC has 1,940 points. In total, right off the start, just right off the bat. Mostly just because the GMC carries so much freaking fuel. But I am going to give about 1,000 points to the Ford. 1, to keep it interesting. 2, considering this is a scout truck. Again, scout truck. Full-size semi-truck. So there's that. Now, this is more going to be of a kind of a range battle, moreover, than anything, really. Is what this is going to be. Which the GMC is probably going to win. But, saying that, the rules are simple. Every map they go through is 100 points, so if they get out of the map I'm currently in, it's 100 points. 200 points for completing every single map, and if they go around to back to this map, another 200 for that. And plus whatever stuff they have left over, such as fuel they have left over, repair points they have left over, stuff like that. Those are just plus like 90 points, stuff like that. Minus points, minus 25 points for every time I have to winch with a truck. They both have the winches, they both have the best winches they can have. Minus 10 points for every point of damage, which is going to be very interesting to calculate. But that's perfectly fine. Another thing is, I'm going to talk about the Ford again really quickly, because this bothers the crap out of me, the engine that this thing has in it. So, I looked up some information on this truck. This is a 1974 S750. From what I can tell from the front of this truck, this is a 1974. What annoys me about that is, the biggest engine you could put this is a 5.8 liter engine in it, which is a gas engine, but still. This and it's a V8. This is a V6 5-liter engine. I think you can see what's annoying me. Because you could put a V8 5.8 liter engine in this, but you can only put this engine in it, and it just it annoys the crap out of me. Hopefully they add a bigger engine for this truck, because I really want it. I want that 5.8 liter engine that this truck actually does have in real life. So, there's that. Another thing is, well, that's pretty much it, other than that. But the actual video of me driving both these trucks, I'm not going to be miking it, obviously, because it is going to take a long time, and I'm probably just going to, I don't know, probably, it's probably going to end up being a 5-time speed up instead of a 2-time, so it's not an hour long, because both of these trucks can go pretty freaking far with all the fuel they can carry. Obviously because it's a Scout, and obviously because it has a service body on it. Another thing is neither one of them gets a trailer, because this one can't have a trailer with it. And if this one did have a trailer, it would actually have more points than the GMC. Just for little bits, but yeah. But total points come down to, after I give 1,000 points to that one, is 1,970, which is just a few points in front of this one. But I'm pretty sure the GMC is going to win this. But I just want to see how they come out in the end. So I'm going to be getting back to that here in a second. So I shall be driving here in just a little bit. Holy shit! How the hell? Okay, so hi cat. My cat's freaking out because I'm being weird. But anyway, so I only refueled this truck once. Through that whole goddamn thing, I refueled this truck once. That is amazing. It completed that whole thing refueling once. I have 3 liters. No, here. That is the only fuel out of this entire truck I've used. It refueled once. Holy mother of God, I didn't use a winch once. I only took a little bit of damage. Holy shit! That blows my fucking mind. Holy shit. So, alright, so I'm pretty much just gonna throw the points out at this point. I'm gonna put this before I do, still right after, well now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna probably put this thing before I do the actual run of the actual thing. I'm probably gonna put this before that, because holy mother of God, I never fueled the truck accidentally, but that's fine. How did you get 36 liters of fuel all of a sudden? Okay, I must have hit something. Okay, but anyway, holy shit. So I'm pretty much gonna do away with the points, because the GMC, in my opinion, to beat this, well, I'll count the point. Well, no, I'm not gonna count the points, but I am gonna count the damage it took. And I'm not counting tire damage, by the way. I should have said that the things, but I forgot to. I'm not counting tire damage. I'm only counting the fuel tank, the engine, the transmission, and the suspension. If a tire popped, I would have taken off 10 points to begin with. So, even though this thing technically has 6 tires, even though it says that's 4. Just a second point to that. But okay, so for the GMC to beat this, it's going to have to do the same route I just did with only refueling once and not using a winch. That is... oh dear God. I don't know if it can beat it. Granted, this is more of a scout versus scout versus an actual truck, and it's basically a scout run thing, not an actual power run. If this was a power run, the GMC would win easily, by the way. But, holy mother of God, how the fuck? But, holy shit. And I may actually do the fun things in a different video, because it took me like an hour and some amount of minutes to get this truck here. But, yeah. So, for the GMC to win, it has to do the same route the Ford just took. This thing only took about 15 damage. So, it's gonna have to take under 15 damage, for one. It's gonna have to get here and refuel only once. And this got through every single map, and one of them twice. Oh, 2 of them twice, because we got to this one twice. And it's gonna have to fucking... holy shit, and not use the winch. Holy mother of God. So, yeah. We'll be back. Well, so, I don't know. I, honest to God, don't know which one won. I'm gonna have to give it a draw. Honestly, I'm gonna have to, because okay, I'll just make some points, is what I'm gonna do. You can decide for yourself which one won. That's what you can do, because I honest to God do not know, because, okay, so, the Ford, for being a scout, a Scout and underpowered more or less kept up with the GMC. Granted, the GMC did, on its run, go faster. It did take more damage, but some of it was my own fault. Some of it was me not paying attention, looking at my phone, doing things. Some of it was, there's a few sections of it that were, but there were 3 indications for the GMC that I know weren't entirely my fault. So, well, at least I don't think were entirely my fault. If I could have, I probably could have gone with the GMC and probably done no damage, and probably with the Ford too. So for damage-wise, the Ford took a lot less damage and only took damage once. It only ever took damage once because of how much slower it is. So being underpowered actually helped it there. So it made it go slower, and it made me actually think more than the GMC did. Which could actually be a problem if you think about it in a way. You're going faster with the GMC because you want to go faster, because you have more power, you have the ability to. So that could be bad in that respect. Now, for this testing that I did, you can kind of pretty much tell, and I realized this as well, I'm just looking at them more as Scout trucks than I am as normal trucks. As in what they're supposed to be. Because the Ford is supposed to be a Scout truck, the GMC is supposed to be, well, a truck. A semi-truck. Which that term has never made any sense to me, but whatever. I love the Australians. They would have called the truck on the right a ute and the truck on the left a truck. You didn't know that. But, for that much matter, fuel-wise, technically the Ford burned less, technically. But that's obviously just because smaller engine again, going slower, and stuff like that. The GMC has a full-size semi-engine. So that's no surprise there that the Ford actually burned less fuel than the other thing does. So there's that. Now, in reality, I'm pretty sure the GMC, with the thing that has on it now, could go farther than the Ford. I guarantee it too. So there's that. Off-roading the GMC was also a lot better. That could be because they're about the same height, from what I can tell. Just looking at them like this, they're about the same height up off the ground. The GMC does have better tires. Well, the tires are the same, but I shouldn't say it has better tires. It has more power going to the ground, is what I should say. Since it has, what, 10 tires in total? Yeah, 10 tires in total, putting power to the ground. It makes it a lot better off-road than having, what, 2, 4, 6 tires? This is just dually. Another thing that annoys me about this, why didn't they go with the double axle? Because I looked up information about this truck. There's a model that has a has a double rear axle F750 for the year that they've modeled this after, which is kind of annoying. Another thing that annoys me about the truck, this truck's a gas truck, not a diesel. And it spits out black like it's a diesel, which that just annoys me. But whatever. And the engine size is smaller, but with it being a diesel, that shouldn't matter too much. With it pretending to be a diesel. Anyway. Other than that, like I said, I don't know. I don't know which one won, because they both had different respects. Now, if you're going to go off points like I originally was going to do, the GMC won. The GMC straight up won. If you're going to go off of points, the GMC straight up, it won. If you're going to go off the points things, which I did calculate out, even with the damage it took, it still won. And it only still won because of how much fuel it carries. Another thing is I'm going to rant about the Ford here in a second. So, if you don't want to listen to me rant about the Ford here in a minute, this is the end of the video for you. So bye. For you, like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. All that. But I'm going to go on a rant about this truck. The rant about the Ford. Kind of a good, kind of a bad thing about that. But anyway. So, see? It's spitting up black. Right there. It's right there. See that? It's spitting up black. This is not a diesel. It's like that. it's spitting out black. This is the versions of it that I've been able to find. They've all been gas engines, and I even looked up the year of this truck diesel, and it pulled up the newer year trucks, and I wasn't able to find the older version of the truck, which is another thing that bothers me. Granted, you could put a double exhaust like this on any kind of truck; it doesn't matter. Hello, cat. What are you doing, cat? Cat's being my cat. So, but yeah, there's that. Another thing. The cat thing kind of looks a little weird. I'm surprised it didn't do something else, made it look like an actual truck, instead of looking like this weird nonsense. It does look a little weird, but honestly it looks fine. To me, it looks fine. Because I just pulled up a 1974 Ford F-750 diesel, and all I get is newer trucks, so there's that. Let's see how this will get semi trucks. Technically, this would be a semi, kind of, but since it's underpowered and actually only has like a truck size engine in it, the actual version of this truck, it would be more considered of just a normal pickup. In the 1970s, yeah, it would have been more considered that than an actual semi. Granted, the F7, the F50. The 7F50, that's so weird. The F750, I don't know why I keep saying S. The F750, there we go! My brain I was tripping myself up on that, anyway. But there are no things about this that are diesel, which is weird. That I've been able to find. Granted, you probably could put a diesel in it if you can fit it in that, which you probably can. But there's that, which is weird that this thing's like, it kind of sounds more like I don't know, just this truck's annoying. I'm only ranting about this because I know there's the other videos of me using these two trucks I'm going to put separately, because the GMC took like an hour and a few minutes, the Ford took like an hour and 30, so even if I speed them up 5 times, which I probably won't do anymore, that's gonna be a long-ass video. So, there's that. But anyway, this truck kind of annoys me. I love it, but it does kind of annoy me what they did with it. What they did. Granted, the gas engine thing would still make it underpowered. So there is that. But, yeah. But, thank you for listening to my little rant about this truck. Anyway, bye-bye.